Welcome, everyone, and thanks for attending the Retirement Readiness Presentation for our mid-career members. Benefit presentations are just one of the many ways TRS reaches out to educate you, our members, about their benefits. If you'd like to learn more about TRS or a specific topic, you can visit our website at www.trs.texas.gov and watch our member educational videos. These videos are designed to answer our members' most common questions. For today, let's get started. For today, I'd like to start off with a very important topic to TRS, and that is how every day we are out to earn your trust. We often receive calls from members asking if we contact individuals wishing to visit them at home to discuss their TRS benefits. If the question is, does TRS make home visits? The answer is no. We do not meet with members in their home. If someone contacts you and asks to meet you in your home, it is important to make sure that you know who that person is because that person does not represent TRS. These individuals often use organization names or initials that sound very much like TRS. However, if you listen closely, you'll realize the distinction. If you belong to a professional association whose membership consists of TRS members or retirees, it is possible that the association may share its membership lists externally, including to salespeople. Do not confuse persons representing such organizations or offering financial products with TRS employees. TRS guards the confidential information of its members and retirees and does not release names, addresses, or other information to professional associations or external parties. And TRS staff members do not make home visits. These types of solicitations are usually sent by private, for-profit groups wishing to sell you a product. You should respond to these requests for home visits, postcards, and messages only if you believe such information would be to your advantage and you do not mind providing information to these organizations. Any TRS employee is able to identify themselves by either having a trs.texas.gov email address, they can provide a TRS badge, or even a TRS business card. If you see someone claiming to be a TRS representative off-site, know that TRS does not provide things like refreshments or swag bags for incentives of purchase, as we are not selling any type of life insurance or other products. We thank you for trusting TRS with your information and know that we are doing everything that we can to protect your privacy. In this presentation, we'll be learning how to use tools to help you plan for your retirement. The tools presented today are intended to help you plan for your retirement with confidence. I'll briefly cover information about your pension, and then we'll delve into tools available on the TRS website and in your My TRS member portal. Everything covered today will help you prepare for retirement and gain a better understanding of when you may be ready to retire. We'll start with a quick review of your pension. First, congratulations. If you are attending this session and in your 40s or 50s, you are considered mid-career. As you know, if you have 5 credible years with TRS, you are vested. And you may be wondering what it means to be vested. This means that you are eligible for an annuity for life in the future. You are a member of a retirement system that is among the largest in the United States and was specifically created to serve your needs. TRS retirement plan benefits are funded by member, employer and state contributions, and by the earnings on the investments of the fund. Member contributions are made on a pre-tax basis, meaning that at the time you receive your salary, you do not pay federal income tax on the portion of your salary used to make contributions. Federal income tax on the contributions and the interest earned is deferred until you begin receiving your distribution as a retiree. Contributions submitted to TRS prior to January 1st, 1988 were on a non-tax deferred basis. Member contributions due after January 1st of 1988 are tax deferred. Interest on the contributions is computed at a rate of 2% per year and is credited to your member accounts on August 31st of each year. TRS uses the following formula to calculate a normal age monthly standard annuity. Number one, we will take the average of your highest salaries, and this is the highest salaries in the history of the employment. Your years of service are multiplied by the standard multiplier for the state, which is 2.3%. That percentage is multiplied by the average of the salaries, divided by 12, and that gets you to a gross monthly standard annuity. The formula is the same for everyone, regardless of your position or status. And you may use the retirement calculator by logging on to your MyTRS account to receive an estimated amount of your future service retirement benefits. These calculations via the MyTRS calculator do not include calculations for disability retirement. Recently, we created a life event toolkit that I'll be highlighting for you today. The toolkit was designed with you in mind. We wanted to make it easy for human resource staff and yourself to use. Our goal was to help you know what actions you may need to take if you experience either a personal or career event. The information that is in these event toolkits are organized by personal and career events. The hope is that it will be easy to navigate to get you to the information that you need. And it is topic-driven information that is available 24/7. Let's take a look at these event types. Personal events happen, and they often require you to update your information with employers, banks, and other accounts you may have. You can navigate to the list of personal events under the Find It Fast heading on the TRS website. Placing your TRS account on the list will be important to maintain accurate information that allows us to provide information you may need. Getting married, starting a family, or purchasing a home is at the top of the list when it comes to personal events. Likewise, there are career events that can trigger changes you may need on your TRS account. Again, the resource kit attempts to identify career events that may trigger the need for action on your TRS account. On this slide, you'll see a list of events we've identified. In the next few slides, I'm going to walk you through navigating these resource kits. If you have multiple monitors or can split your screen, please feel free to follow along. If you are on the main homepage for the TRS website, you can find the Life Event Resource Kit under the category of Find It Fast. But if you have navigated away from the home page, you can first click on the Active Member tab on the top of the page. Once you see the drop-down menu, on the right-hand side, you'll see in bold green letters the Life Event Resource Toolkit. If you click this hyperlink, it will take you to the proper page. This will open the Life Event Resource Kit/Employer Toolkit. Then you can select either personal or career toolkits. For our purposes today, I'm going to show you the personal events. The screen here displays some of the most common events you may experience throughout your employment. When you select one of these events, you'll have answers to common questions, actions you may need to take, forms, and videos to assist you. For this example, let's go ahead and select Change of Address or Phone. This is just one of the events. Each are designed as an FAQ with links to paperwork or member education videos needed to answer questions. To go back to the full list, you can click on the down arrow for the tiles or the hyperlink directly under Personal Events. Next time you experience a life or career event, this toolkit may help guide you through action you may need to take to keep your TRS records up to date. Once you are a member for a full school year, you begin receiving annual statements from TRS. This document is very important to help you track your membership. Just like a bank statement, it's important to review and maintain with other important documents. Most of you have been receiving these statements for years. Let's talk about the statement and what information it contains. Statements are mailed annually after the close of the school year, and you can expect to receive yours before the end of the calendar year, typically in October and November. If you log into your MyTRS account, you can find current and previous statements in the Documents Center. We'll talk about that when I cover MyTRS features a little bit later in the presentation. You do have the option to go paperless by selecting electronic communication. If you select this option, we will not mail your statement. Your statement includes your account balance, service credit earned, and even retirement estimates. It's important to review your statement for accuracy and discuss possible corrections with your employer. Receipt of your annual statement triggers a 5-year time limit within which you have for corrections to be made. If you believe information reported to TRS is incorrect, such as your salary information, you should reach out to your employer. On page 1 of your annual statement, you'll see this graphic and information. It describes what may make up your retirement. Your TRS retirement is depicted as the first pillar that will make up your income in retirement. The combination of your personal savings and other assets plus Social Security make up the other pillar you see in this graphic. It's important to know whether you are eligible for Social Security. Later in the presentation, I'll cover more about what you can do to learn more about your Social Security benefits. Your income in retirement is a joint responsibility between you and TRS. Experts say you will need about 80 to 90% of your pre-retirement income to maintain your current standard of living. You could need more or less than that depending on your lifestyle and several other factors like taxes or medical bills. To learn more about the pillars for your retirement, you can watch 3 short videos available on the public website with TRS under the TRS Financial Awareness video series. Will my TRS pension be enough? Saving in a tax-deferred plan? And Social Security. Now let's talk about Social Security. Approximately 96% of public school employees do not pay into Social Security as a system. This makes it even more important to have personal savings. If you are currently contributing or have contributed to Social Security in the past, you may receive a Social Security benefit. To determine if you are eligible for Social Security and to get an estimate of potential benefits, contact the Social Security Administration directly. You can create an account on their website to assist with determining your eligibility. They have an easy-to-use calculator to determine your benefits. 2 federal Social Security provisions could impact your Social Security benefits: the government pension offset and the windfall provision. Contact your financial planner or tax professional to learn more about these provisions. TRS benefits are not affected by benefits as a member may receive from Social Security. This means, simply put, your TRS benefits will never be reduced just because you're eligible for retirement through Social Security as well. For information about the Social Security program, visit their website at www.ssa.gov or call 1-800-772-1213. Another great tool that will help you maintain your information and learn more about your benefits is the MyTRS portal. I'll cover that now. Prior to today's presentation, most of our members have already established their MyTRS account. But if you are wanting to establish or create your MyTRS account, know that you can do so by following 6 easy steps. There is a QR code on the screen that if you scan it, it will help you locate on our website some useful MyTRS resources, including a how to establish your MyTRS account video. Additionally, if you would like further guidance on registering for the MyTRS, you can call our offices directly Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. through 6 p.m., and a counselor can further assist you with creating your account. We are very pleased to offer self-service options through the MyTRS portal, and I'm going to walk you through what's available, but we'll focus on the steps for exploring retirement estimates. One of the goals for today was to show you how to use tools that will assist you in determining what you will earn in retirement. So that will be something we'll take a deep dive into. When you log into your MyTRS account, you'll see your account summary. You can see an example of that on the screen currently. I want to call your attention to the top where it says Accounts, Planning, Benefits, Payments, and Account Management. These are your drop-down menus. As you hover your mouse over each, the menu options will appear. Under Account Summary, the first 3 blocks are your member tier. This is determined based off of when you became a member with TRS and the years of service with TRS as of a specific date. Your tier will not change under your current membership. Service credit. This will update as you earn service credit and is determined at the end of each school year. It will also appear on your member annual statement. And account balance. This will display your balance to include 2% interest. Your balance includes your contributions that have been reported and posted to your account. This is in real time. Interest is applied at the end of the year for the year ending August 31st of each year. Your balance is important, but it does not determine your retirement benefit. Demographic information is also displayed. Things like your name, gender, mailing address, phone number, and date of birth. It even shows your communication preferences. You can update your address, phone number, communication preferences, and email through your MyTRS account. You'll also be able to see your account balance, and keep in mind that the 2% interest is applied annually. So if your account balance looks like it's not quite up to date, make sure you're noting that the interest will not be applied until after August 31st. It will also show your highest salaries in your employment history. It will display the top 3 highest salaries for our members who are grandfathered and top 5 highest salaries for our members who are non-grandfathered. As I mentioned earlier, there are several self-service features in the MyTRS to manage your information. In the Document Center, you'll find your member statements, or if you request an account balance, it will be delivered to the Document Center within minutes of the request. This allows you to print it and avoid having to wait for it to be mailed. You can also send a benefit counselor a message with your questions 24/7. Your messages will be reviewed and responded to during business hours. You can also update your mailing address, email address, and phone number through your MyTRS, as well as set your communication preferences through the self-service portal. You also have options to protect your account by updating your password, security questions, and multi-factor authentication. Keeping your beneficiary up to date is one of the most important tasks that you can do through your MyTRS. From the day you begin service with TRS covered employer, you become eligible for your beneficiary to receive a benefit should you pass away while active or in retirement. In MyTRS, you can update your beneficiary as needed. Under the beneficiary header, click on Update Beneficiary menu item. Then you'll see a button to add or modify, and you just need to follow the steps. When doing this, you will need to enable pop-ups on your PC, as the final step will require you to e-sign for the changes. Beyond this function, there are several other self-service features that we'll have a brief look at now. When the time comes to retire, you will be able to start the retirement process by securing a retirement date through the MyTRS portal. Under the Benefits menu item, there is an option to apply for retirement. This will allow you to prepare and e-sign the TRS-30 application for service retirement. Or, if you decide to end your employment and withdraw your contributions, you can apply for a refund through the portal. One of the most powerful tools you have at your disposal in MyTRS is the Benefit Calculator. This appears as a menu item under Planning Tools. Once you register, you can access the Benefit Calculator, request an estimate, schedule an appointment, and even generate and print your account balance. Before I go into more detail on how to use the Retirement Calculator, I'll talk a little bit about these other tools. Requesting an estimate. If you are ready to submit your retirement paperwork, you can request an estimate. A packet will be mailed to you, and it will include everything you need to apply for retirement, including calculations on your retirement options. Scheduling an appointment. You can schedule an appointment with an office visit counselor to assist you with your retirement paperwork and to answer any questions you may have. Generate account balance form. You also can generate an account balance through MyTRS if you are ever needing to verify or provide proof of your current account balance information. Once you have selected Benefit Calculator under the Planning Tools menu, it is 4 easy steps to generate an estimate. You can create as many estimates as you want. Playing with the estimator to determine the best time to retire is why the tool is available to you. When you are creating an estimate, there are different variables that you can change. You can project service credit, and if you believe your salary will increase, you can project future salaries. Ultimately, this will help you determine what you will earn from TRS in retirement. It is unaudited salaries, but it will give you a good idea of your benefits. Now I'll walk you through creating an estimate. This slide represents what it will look like when creating an estimate. At the top, you'll see the step-by-step numbered instructions. In the center of the screen, you'll see previous estimates created. I'm a Teacher created 3 estimates with different retirement dates, one for January of 2040, one for August of 2036, and one for January of 2037. Now we'll follow the steps to create another one. Towards the bottom of the page, there's a drop-down for you to select the type of benefit. We'll be selecting Service Retirement and clicking on the Start button. Next, you'll select the month and year you would like an estimate for. Since Ima has 3 other estimates, this time she's creating one for January of 2042. Now, you'll need to indicate whether you will have multiple beneficiaries or not. If you would like to see estimates for options 1, 2, or 5, which are our joint life options, you should select No and enter the information for the person that will receive the continued payments upon your passing. As a reminder, options 1, 2, and 5 provide a reduced annuity for your life, with the payments continuing to your named beneficiary for life after your passing. If you indicate yes, you will not need to provide additional information, and the calculator will not deliver estimates for those options. Ima chose no, as she plans to name only her spouse as a beneficiary for her continuing option. Next, you'll need to identify the relationship of the beneficiary, and Ima has chosen her spouse. You'll also need to provide the beneficiary's date of birth. When you select this field, a calendar with drop-downs will appear to assist you with populating this field. Her spouse's date of birth is December 18th, 1980. It's important to provide an accurate date of birth for your beneficiary so that the estimate reflects the correct dollars for continuing annuity options. At retirement, you will have to provide a proof of age document for both you and your named beneficiary. Finally, she selected her spouse's gender and clicked on Continue. You may be wondering why we ask for information about your beneficiary. When you select a continuing option, TRS applies an actuarial factor that is based off of the life expectancy of both you and your option beneficiary. When you get to this page, you will see service credit and salaries are all fields that will default to your current service credit and highest salaries. These salaries are unaudited. IMA updated her information for her projected service credit through her estimate retirement date of 2042. However, she did not change her 5 highest salaries, but she could have changed them as well. Considering she plans to work another 19 years, she may consider increasing the 5 highest salaries. However, she wants her estimate to be more conservative, so she did not change them. Let's talk about that for a moment. When you are working through your estimates and you plan to retire far into the future, you will want to consider the rate at which your salary may increase and consider past increases to use this as a reference. IMA has had increases in her salary between 1.5 and 6.8% for an average of an increase of 4%. Looking at what you might expect in the future and adjusting the salaries may provide a more realistic average salary upon retirement. You may also want to consider things like inflation for future retirement and salaries. The final step displays the calculations. Under the calculation results, you'll see the formula we discussed earlier in the presentation on slide 6. This is the calculation for standard annuity. Remember, TRS uses the formula to calculate normal age monthly standard annuity. First, we will average out the 5 highest salaries in the history employment, or highest 3 if you are a grandfathered member. Your years of service, we'll take that and multiply it by the standard multiplier for the state, which is 2.3%. That percentage is multiplied by the average of the highest salaries, divided by 12, and that takes us to your gross monthly standard annuity. Standard annuity option provides the highest amount to you as the retiree, and the benefits will stop upon your passing. The options that are shown here for our continuing annuity options, options 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, are all other options IMA teacher has to choose from upon her retirement. Because we're focusing more on the function of your MyTRS today, we will not be reviewing these options in depth. However, if you would like additional information on your retirement annuity options, there are some incredibly helpful member educational videos on this topic. If you go to our public website, the trs.texas.gov, you can see helpful videos such as understanding your annuity options or selecting a beneficiary for your retirement. Additionally, there are very helpful presentations such as our Ready to Retire presentation that will delve deeply into this topic. If you are eligible, you will also notice that on the secondary half of the chart, you will see the partial lump sum options are populated. To be eligible for a partial lump sum, you do have to meet the rule of 90 upon retirement, which would be your age and service credit years combining to total 90. If you save the last estimate, it will appear in the list of calculations. The second column has a hyperlink which allows you to go back and look at each estimate created. Along with viewing the estimates you create, you can print or delete them. These estimates will be important for you to use when determining your pillars that make up your future retirement income. In the next few slides, I'll show you how to use a calculator that is available to you on the TRS website. You can access the Retirement and Expense Estimator on the TRS website at trs.texas.gov. Click on Active Member and then Planning for Retirement. Then click on Retirement Calculator. Next, we'll click on the calculator labeled Retirement Income and Expense Estimator. You'll have a choice between an Excel workbook or PDF copy. If you use the Excel version, it has formulas to make the calculation easy. I'm going to show you the Excel version for today. The Retirement Income and Expense Estimator is a tool you can use to prepare for retirement and to understand what you may need to maintain your current lifestyle. This is not intended to be retirement, legal, or financial advice. We are prohibited by law from providing financial advice. And we do strongly recommend that if you would like financial guidance, to speak either with a financial advisor or a tax professional. Next, I will provide step-by-step guidance for using the Retirement Income and Expense Estimator. When you open the Excel version, you'll see three tabs. The first, the Instruction tab. This includes the instructions you see on the screen currently. Secondly is the Retirement Expense Estimate tab. This is what I'll be showing you next. And lastly, the Retirement Income tab. This is what I will show you last. There are 4 steps to preparing the estimator. The first step is to estimate your monthly costs at retirement. To do this, you will need to know what your current expenses are today. There are 3 columns on the spreadsheet. Current monthly cost, this is the gold column. This is where you will enter your current monthly expenses. We have attempted to consider the most common expenses, but there is a line for other should you have one that we did not include. As you prepare this column, if you believe that you will not have some expenses in retirement, consider not including them in your calculation. For example, if you plan to have your home paid off by retirement, you may want to leave that field blank. You may also wish to consider things like needs versus wants. You may need to pay for your medical coverage, but you may decide to reduce things such as your entertainment budget or how often you eat out. There are personal considerations you need to make. Understanding where you are spending money today can help you plan for what you need in retirement. There is the inflation factor, which is under the orange column. You'll need to determine the inflation factor, and I'll walk you through that next. Mortgages, loans, and credit cards are set to specific terms and rates, so the inflation factor does not apply. Monthly cost at retirement. This is the current monthly cost times the inflation factor, and this can be found in the green column of the chart. In the workbook, there is a formula that will perform this calculation. Now let's talk about how you determine that inflation factor. It's important to consider inflation when calculating what you may need in retirement. This next step may be a difficult one. Looking at the past may help you determine the future, and you may want to seek advice from a financial advisor to assist you with this. But let's talk about what inflation is. Inflation is defined as a sustained increase in general level of prices for goods and services. The chart on the left shows the U.S. annual inflation rates beginning in 2012. As inflation rises, every dollar you own buys a smaller percentage of goods and services. Inflation affects everyone, but those on a fixed income may feel it a little bit more than those in the workforce. In order to estimate how much you may need to maintain your current standard of living, you will need to consider when you will retire and what you believe the rate of inflation will be. The chart on the right will help you identify the inflation factor to multiply your current expenses by. And I have a couple of examples of this on the next few slides to demonstrate how this is done. In this example, I'm a teacher decided that she will retire in 15 years and believes inflation will be at 5%. Based on this, she found that the inflation factor is 2.08. Once it is entered in the orange column, It will auto-populate in all fields except those that the inflation does not apply to. Her expenses today are just under $3,000, but in 15 years, if inflation is at 5%, her projected expenses are over 5,500. In this example, I'm a teacher decided that she will retire in 15 years and believes that inflation will be at 4%. Based on this, she found that the inflation factor is 1.8. She entered it at the top of the spreadsheet, and once it is entered, the column will auto-populate the fields except those that inflation does not apply to. This helps Ima estimate the monthly cost at retirement 15 years in the future. Now, with the new inflation factor of 1.8, her monthly cost at retirement is now calculated at $4,890.88, less than her previous estimate. Once you've completed your expense worksheet, you can click on the tab to go to the Retirement Income Worksheet. This is where you'll enter your household income. This may include your income as well as your spouse's or just yours. Depending on how far into the future you are projecting your retirement, you should consider what your income may be at that time. Ima's projecting her retirement 15 years from now. However, when she prepared her estimates, she did not increase her average salary. This means that it is not necessarily realistic. In this example, Ima only included her income, but could have included her spouse's income as well. You can see that she entered her expected TRS pension based off of the estimate she prepared. She also included what she is planning to withdraw from her 403(b). Finally, she entered her current monthly income. The spreadsheet has a formula that will take the difference between her calculated expenses in 15 years from her total retirement income. When Ima prepared her expense worksheet, she learned that in 15 years, at an expected inflation rate of 4%, her expenses are projected to be around $4,890.88 per month. Taking the difference between the results of her projected income and her projected expenses results in a small balance of $85.53. Keep in mind that this does not consider things like federal income taxes withheld. The calculation uses pre-tax monthly income. You may consider adding things like income tax to the other option under the chart. It also provides a calculation for the percentage of pre-retirement income. Keep it in mind that experts say that you will need 80 to 90% of pre-retirement income to maintain the same standard of living. Ima's calculation shows her to be at 90%. But now Ima is deciding that she wants to include her spouse's income in the calculation. So let's look at that next. In this example, Ima included her income as well as her spouse's projected income. On the line Other Pension, she entered her spouse's projected pension. And since her spouse expects to receive Social Security, she added the estimate from the Social Security office. Keep in mind that Ima's spouse's income is not guaranteed for her lifetime. Again, the spreadsheet has a formula that will take the difference between her calculated expenses in 15 years from her and her spouse's projected retirement income. When Ima prepared her expense worksheet, she learned that in 15 years, at an expected inflation rate of 4%, her expenses are projected to be around $4,890.88 per month. Taking the difference between the results of her projected income and projected expenses results in a small balance of $3,785.53. It also provides a calculation for the percentage of pre-retirement income. Experts again say that you will need 80 to 90% of pre-retirement income to maintain your current standard of living. Ima's calculation currently shows that with the combination of her and her spouse's income, she will be at 91%. But what if the calculation shows a negative number and indicates the income will not cover expenses? Since Ima is 15 years from retirement, she has time to consider her options. Early in the presentation, we talked about the formula that determines your annuity at retirement. There are two numbers in the formula that are variables. One is the years of credible service, and the other is the average of your highest salaries. Remember, working longer can increase your pension by 2.3% for every year of credible service you earn, and increasing your salary by taking on different roles or additional duties can ultimately increase the average of your salaries. Your pension should not be your only source of income in retirement. In addition to earning membership service credit, you may also purchase eligible service credit. As you can see on the screen, there are several different types of service credit purchases. Some of the more common ones are purchases of withdrawn service, which occurs if you refund your TRS member account and then resume your membership with TRS. There is also purchases for out-of-state service credit. This is if you have out-of-state service in a public school system or college, and you have at least 5 years of TRS membership service credit, or even military service. If you have at least 5 years of TRS membership service credit for actual service with TRS covered employer, you may purchase up to 5 years of service credit for active duty federal military service in the U.S. Armed Forces. Ultimately, purchasing service credit is a financial decision, and if you would like more information regarding service credit purchases, we do have a very helpful member educational video available on our public website to go ahead and delve into this deeply. You may also want to increase your personal savings by putting away earnings in a 403b, a 457b, or a 401k. If purchasing service credit is an option for you, this may also be a consideration. This will increase your retirement by 2.3% for every year that you purchase. Or you may want to even consider working in retirement. If you would like to speak with us further regarding any questions regarding your account, membership, or even retirement, you can contact us Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. through 6 p.m. And our automated information system is available every day, 24/7, 7 days a week. If you are needing to forward any information to TRS, a fax number is available, but we now also offer the option to scan and upload documents under the Contact Us portion of our public website. TRS is also available via Facebook, X, formerly known as Twitter, YouTube, and LinkedIn. Today, I've shown you several tools available to you to begin planning for your retirement. You've received a quick overview of your pension. I showed you the Life Event Resource Toolkit that may be helpful throughout your career. We went over your member statement that you receive annually, and we also talked about your ability to manage your account in MyTRS and the tools available to you. We even briefly talked about Social Security. Many of the tools that we covered today will be something you will need to use with the Retirement Expense and Income Calculator. We also talked about what you can do to prepare for retirement. This has been a great deal of information, so if you have further questions, we always strongly encourage you to reach out. We look forward to assisting you in the future.